2008 was brutal. Phew. 2008, we had the third consecutive failure of the Falcon rocket for SpaceX. Tesla almost went bankrupt. We closed our financing round 6 p.m. Christmas Eve, 2008. It was the last hour of the last day that it was possible. We would have gone bankrupt 2 days after Christmas otherwise.
Have you ever met someone who looks at the sky and truly believes he can touch it? In 1971, a shy, quiet boy named Elon Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa. He wasn't the strongest or the most popular, he was different. While other kids played outside, Elon was lost in his imagination, dreaming of galaxies and distant worlds. He devoured science fiction books, worlds where humans lived on Mars and machines changed destiny. But his reality was cruel. He was bullied daily, once beaten so badly he ended up in the hospital. At home, his father's cold words cut even deeper. Yet, every time life broke him, Elon escaped into his mind. He said later, "Reading taught me that heroes can come from anywhere." And soon, that little boy decided, if no hero was coming to save humanity, then he would become one. The escape from a broken home. Elon's father, Elon Musk, was an engineer, intelligent but emotionally abusive. Elon once called him a terrible human being. He grew up feeling trapped, in a house full of arguments and silence. But inside, a voice kept whispering, "You don't belong here." At just 17, he made the most daring decision of his life: to escape South Africa. He wanted freedom and a country where he could build a future without limits. With barely any money, he left for Canada. There, he worked odd jobs, cleaning boilers, cutting wood, and doing manual labor. Sometimes he slept in cheap motels, sometimes on couches. But every night, he looked at the stars and whispered, "One day, I'll get there." He believed North America was where the impossible could happen, and he was ready to prove it. The struggle of a dreamer. In 1995, Elon finally reached the United States. He was 24, broke, and hungry, but full of impossible dreams. He wanted to work at Netscape, one of the biggest internet companies. He waited outside their office lobby, too shy to speak to anyone. He never got the job. That rejection could have ended his story, but instead, it became the start. He and his brother Kimball rented a tiny office and launched Zip2, a company that helped newspapers go online. They couldn't afford an apartment, so they slept in the office and showered at the YMCA. Elon coded 24/7, living on pizza and caffeine. Everyone laughed at the idea, but a few years later, Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. Elon's share? $22 million. He had money now, but still, something inside him whispered, "You're just getting started." The birth of X.com and the digital revolution. Most people would stop after one success. Not Elon. He wanted to change the way money moved. In 1999, he created X.com, an online banking platform when the internet itself was still new. People called him crazy. Who would trust their money online? But Elon saw what others didn't: the future. Soon, X.com merged with another startup called PayPal. Tensions rose, conflicts exploded, and Elon was eventually forced out as CEO while he was on vacation. Imagine that, building your dream, then losing it overnight. But Elon didn't fight for revenge. He said, "I cared more about the mission than the position." In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon walked away with $180 million. Everyone thought he'd finally rest. But he wasn't after comfort, he was after change. And the next change he planned was not on Earth. SpaceX. The dream that nearly destroyed him. Elon's next dream was too big for anyone to understand. He wanted to make humanity a multiplanetary species. So he founded SpaceX, a company that aimed to build affordable rockets. People laughed. Experts called him foolish. Even NASA ignored him. He poured all his PayPal money into SpaceX, and one by one, his first 3 rocket launches failed. Millions gone. Engineers quitting. Critics cheering. By 2008, SpaceX was on the edge of bankruptcy. Elon said, "It was the worst year of my life." He had just one rocket left, Falcon 1. If it failed, everything was over. But against all odds, the rocket launched perfectly. For the first time in history, a private company had reached orbit. And in that moment, Elon Musk didn't just save his company. He saved his dream of reaching the stars. Tesla, driving into the impossible. While SpaceX fought gravity, Elon started another war, this time against the auto industry. In 2004, he invested in a small electric car startup called Tesla. People said, electric cars will never work. But Elon believed the future had to be sustainable. He threw in his last millions to keep Tesla alive. By 2008, Tesla was nearly dead. Employees left, investors backed out, and Elon admitted, "I thought we were done." He cried in interviews, saying, "Either we succeed or we die." But Tesla's first car, the Roadster, shocked the world. It was fast, stylish, and 100% electric. The critics went silent. Tesla survived barely. Elon said later, "I didn't start Tesla to make cars. I started it to save the planet." And slowly, Tesla became a symbol not of failure, but of the future. The year of collapse and resurrection. 2008 wasn't just difficult, it was devastating. SpaceX was nearly bankrupt. Tesla was collapsing. Elon had no money left. He even borrowed from friends to pay rent. He said, "It was like staring into the abyss." He had to choose save SpaceX or save Tesla. But fate gave him a miracle. In December 2008, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract. That single decision changed everything. It saved SpaceX, and with that confidence, Elon saved Tesla too. He had risked everything, and won it back through persistence, pain, and belief. Most people fear failure. Elon walked through it and came out stronger. That was the year the world stopped laughing at him. Because now, they started believing. Building the future. After survival came domination. Elon expanded his empire: SolarCity for clean energy, Starlink for global internet, Neuralink for merging humans with AI, and the Boring Company for underground transport. He was no longer chasing money. He was rewriting the future. His companies aimed to solve humanity's biggest problems: energy, communication, transportation, and space. Tesla became the world's most valuable car brand. SpaceX became the first private company to send astronauts to space. And Elon Musk became the richest man alive. But when asked about his wealth, he smiled and said, "I don't own a house. I sleep on friends' couches." He never wanted luxury, he wanted legacy. Because for him, the mission was never about himself. It was about humanity's survival. The man behind the genius, behind the iron will and genius mind, is a man who's known heartbreak and loneliness. Elon lost his first child at just 10 weeks old. He went through painful divorces. He faced depression, exhaustion, and endless criticism. People see the success, not the scars. He once said, "Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss." He rarely smiles in interviews, but when he does, it's often when talking about Mars or humanity's future. He doesn't crave praise, he craves progress. And despite being the richest man on Earth, he still sleeps in his factories, the legacy that burns like a star. Today, Elon Musk isn't just a man, he's a movement. He's built rockets that return to Earth, cars that drive themselves, and networks that connect the unconnected. But more than that, he's built hope. He's shown that no dream is too big, and no failure too final. From a bullied child in South Africa, to the man who's reaching for Mars, Elon's life teaches one truth: pain can destroy you or define you. He chose to let it define him, and maybe that's what makes him different. He doesn't just talk about the future, he's building it one impossible dream at a time. Because Elon Musk didn't just create companies, he created possibility. If this story moved your heart, then remember, greatness isn't born, it's built through fire. Elon Musk's journey reminds us that even when the world doubts you, your belief can rewrite destiny. This was Heartfelt Tales, where every story touches the soul. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because next time, we'll reveal another untold journey. A story even more shocking, more emotional, and more inspiring. Stay with us, because the next tale might just change the way you see life forever.